Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be playing the Nintendo Switch version of Pokemon FireRed version. Yeah, this game was released back on Pokemon Day about a month ago. Or at the tail end of February, I should say. And hey, how it's gonna play exactly like how it did with Let's Go Pikachu, but there's gonna be a lot more content in the games, such as the Sevii Islands, which is something I'm particularly looking forward to. And I intend to make use of any glitches and exploits that I can to make the gameplay a little more easy for this gameplay. And I won't worry about dialogue and such, because pretty much it's going to be exactly the same as when during the Let's Go Pikachu gameplay. Oh. Checking. Okay, just had to make sure I got my microphone didn't disconnect. And now I also got a screenshot, so now we're gonna get right into this. And as we do, remember as always to show your support for the channel by hitting that like button, commenting, and subscribing. In the world which you are about to enter, you will embark on a grand adventure with you as the hero. Speak to people and check things wherever you go, be it towns, roads, or caves. Gather information and hints from every source. New paths will open to you by helping people in need, overcoming challenges, and solving mysteries. At times, you will be challenged by others and attacked by wild creatures. Be brave and keep pushing on. Through your adventure, we hope that you will interact with all sorts of people and achieve personal growth. That is our biggest objective. Press the A button and let your adventure continue. Yeah, and there's Professor Oak. Yeah, it's basically the same as back with Let's Go Pikachu. And honestly, I'm hoping that they port the Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald games to the Switch, too. Yeah, I'm gonna name our character Multi-Griffin. Yeah, but we only have a limited number of spaces with the character name there. Yeah, we're gonna name our rival Gary, because no matter what anyone else says, our rival in the Gen 1 games and these Gen 3 remakes is always gonna be Gary. Yeah, just had to switch the thing to fast there. Yeah, we still have the NES right there. And there's our mom, so... And once again, we're in Pallet Town. Yep, and here comes Professor Oak. Yeah, as you all probably saw from the intro, I recently upgraded to the Nintendo Switch 2, so... mainly just because I wanted to play the Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness on the Nintendo GameCube Classics collection. Yeah, and unlike in in FireRed and LeafGreen, we have our choices of Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And naturally, I'm gonna go with Charmander. Mainly because it's the most popular Pokemon of the game. Or of these games. And of course, Gary's choosing Squirtle because all of our rivals before Gen 6, or I guess technically before Gen 7, would often choose a Pokemon that would counter our type. Or our starter's type. Yeah, apparently there's also a glitch where if you press the X, Y, and ABXY buttons at the same time, you can soft reset the game. Of course, since I've already began, there's no real point in doing that again. Yeah, I probably should have saved before I made my choice of picking Charmander. But yeah, I think unlike the back in Let's Go Pikachu, I think I'll stop playing once I get to Pewter City. Yeah, of course we defeated Gary. Yeah, let's take a look, and Charmander's back to full health. And we don't have the option to run in the game until later on. Yeah, no sense in battling Pokemon if we don't have any Pokeballs to work with. That it'll probably be after I take on Misty at the Cerulean Gym that I'll be trading over the other two Kanto starters from LeafGreen version. Yeah, we don't really need to heal up our Charmander since we didn't do any battling. But it's still good to at least set a respawn point at the Pokemon Center. Yeah, now we've got the Oak's Parcel key item. And I better go ahead and save right now. Just so that if anything does happen, I won't have to... nothing will go wrong. Yeah, just avoid the tall grass as much as we can before we get any more Pokeballs. Hey, Professor, we got a package for you. Yeah, and I also like how the Pokédexes in this game look just like the ones from the Pokemon Battle Frontier. Of course, nothing can ever beat the original Pokédex. I also do quite like the Johto Dex too, and the Hoenn Dex. Alright, now that we've got 5 Pokeballs, we can start catching Pokemon. Yeah, this is one of the new features that was included in this game, but not the Let's Go Pikachu. We can talk to Daisy right here to get a town map, so that we can see where we're going. Of course, since I've already played Let's Go Pikachu, there's no real need for the town map, but I feel it's necessary to just have it, just in case. Alright, we can Rattata here and chuck a Pokeball at it. Yeah, and the Pokédex in this game also has classifications for Pokemon based on their habitats. In Rattata's case, it's a grasslands Pokemon. I definitely want to catch a Pidgey, and just so I can have a region, just so I can have that flying type. But one other thing that sets these games apart from the others is that the EXP share is a held item and not an actual mechanic. Yeah, I'm just getting some extra Rattata so I can be ready for when I do catch the or when I trade over Squirtle and Bulbasaur from LeafGreen. Ah, there we go. And I'll definitely be doing some grinding outside of recording so I can level up everything. And I'll definitely be using the Versus Seeker once I get it, because that's one mechanic that I never really used back in the day. But then again, I was young back then and more concerned about playing the story and not grinding. Yeah, I'll take my Pokemon over here and deposit one of my Rattata. I'll keep the stronger one on my team. Yeah, and once I get the both Bulbasaur and Squirtle into this game, I'll be I plan on also doing as many version exclusives as I can, as well as trade evolutions. Yeah, because the likes of Golem, Gengar, Alakazam, and Machamp have always been kind of sad or poorly done since we need to trade them in order to actually get them. Yeah, we can go over this way and try to find some Pokemon over here. Don't want Rattata, but I'll at least get the experience from it. This one's a little beefier. I'll go ahead and heal up right quick. Alright, now we're at level 7. And we learned Ember. That'll make things a little easier. Ah, perfect! A Mankey! Whoop. And since we chose Charmander, I'm definitely gonna need Mankey, especially for the first gym. I'm also gonna have to look around real hard for a Pikachu for the Cerulean City gym. Yeah, now we got ourselves a Mankey. Yeah, that's another cool feature about these games. You can actually see the animation of using items on your Pokemon. Oh, Spearow. I'll definitely want to catch one of two of these for a trade later on in Vermilion City. All right, hopefully that burn doesn't knock it out. Perfect. But I'm mostly looking around here for a Nidoran. Yeah, hopefully this is Nidoran. Nope, it's another Spearow. But I'll at least catch it so I can have it ready for when I do make that trade. I don't want to risk knocking it out, so let's give it another Pokeball. Perfect. Whoop. Nope, I do not want to nickname it. Now I'll go and heal up my team and deposit my Pokemon. Then I'm going to keep looking around for Nidoran. Okay, so go back to Route 22 and continue our search for a Nidoran. Not a Rattata, we want Nidoran. Hang on, if we go any further, we're gonna trigger a battle with Gary. Yep, here he comes. Yeah, well, our Charmander did, but not the rest of our team. Yeah, I'll go ahead and switch out for Charmander. Okay, got a burn status on it. Okay, probably should have leveled up my Pokemon a bit. Yeah, I'll switch over to Mankey for a spell. And if anything, just to heal up Charmander. Of course, I probably could have done that with either Rattata or Pidgey. No, they're too low level. Yeah, we want to keep using Ember on Squirtle, and just so that we can try hitting it with Burn. Ah, there we go. Alright, one more. Alright, last potion. Yeah, you should have used an attack right there, Gary. Yeah, we got some serious EXP right there. Yeah, don't be a sore loser there. Yeah, well, we're gonna keep looking around for Nidoran. Of course, then again, I can always wait to catch one in a later section. Yeah, I forgot I had Spearow at the head of my party. So I guess I'll just head back to Viridian and continue on. But before that, I gotta go and heal up my team. and probably replenish my item supplies. And I like how when we talk to Nurse Joy, the NPCs around us all pause in motion when they move, like that one kid right there. Okay, and we don't have enough money to buy a potion, but that's okay. We can. I'm sure I can still plead with Spearow in the Viridian Forest. Of course I know how to catch a Pokemon. I have like 5 of them on my team. Oh yeah, and we can also get that Teachy TV to tell us about stuff that we could, if we have concerns. Of course, since I'm a pro at these types of games, there's really no need for me to use it. Alright, the Viridian Forest. Now we gotta be careful with looking around. Ooh, Caterpie. Hang on. It may not be wise to use Spearow on Caterpie. I don't want to one-shot it by mistake. And all of these attack animations are also nostalgic, like String Shot. I remember encountering Wormpole in the Hoenn games on my way through the first few routes. As well as several others. Okay, now that we actually have a Caterpie on our team, there's really no need to hold back. I'll probably have to switch over to Charmander before too long. And no need for me to catch a Metapod right now. But I'll stick with Spearow for right now. Ooh, a Weedle. Yeah, String Shot is definitely doing what it's supposed to do with reducing speed. Okay, we got a Pokeball right there, so... I'll use Peck Attack. Yeah, but one main Pokemon I'm gonna want to try to catch while we're in here is Pikachu. And that's mostly just because I want to be ready for when we take on Misty. Oh, and of course, as soon as I mention Pikachu, one appears. Apparently all it wants to do is growl at us. Alright. Let's switch to Rattata. Alright, Rattata, don't knock out Pikachu. And it's paralyzed now. No! Oh well. Well, if I don't catch a Pikachu now, I can always train up the rest of my team to be ready for Misty. Okay, Leer attack. That'll come in handy. Great, we got a potion. Yeah, and here's the start of all Pokemon battles in the game. Apart from our battles with Gary. Yeah, I'll stick with Spearow for right now. Actually, I think I might be... I think I'll take the opportunity to help Pidgey get some experience. It is my only other flying type at the moment. And there's another guy up here. And you know something I've just now noticed? The map for the Viridian Forest looks an awful lot like the Santaloon Forest in the X and Y games. I don't know if any of you have noticed it either, but it's almost exactly identical. Alright, I've made excellent progress with leveling up Spearow. Oh yes, and that's another mechanic that was added back into the games for new players to experience for themselves. Poison damage mechanic in the overworld. I'll switch to Pidgey so I can... Since we're battling a Kakuna... I'll take the opportunity to switch between all my Pokemon, ending up with Charmander, just so everyone can get some experience. Of course, Spearow's experiencing poison damage in battle, so... And Mankey doesn't have any moves outside of Scratch and Leer. Alright, one more switch. Yeah, physical defense doesn't do anything for a move like Ember. Alright, I think I got an antidote. Yeah, I do. Whoop, did not mean to do that. If we didn't have an antidote, there was one right there. So yeah, I'm basically just trying to battle every trainer I come across so I can get some serious EXP. I think my level cap for this section, right up until we take on Brock at the Pewter Gym, will be 15, just so I can have enough time to grind up my team. Alright, a Metapod. Yeah, this will give me an opportunity to level up one of my weaker Mons. Probably Rattata, since it hasn't leveled up any. Nor is Mankey or Caterpie. Of course, since Rattata is paralyzed, there's really no point in doing that. Yeah, there we go. And Pidgey's leveling up. And it's learned Sand Attack. Yeah, I better switch back to Spearow. And I gotta get to start leveling up Charmander before too long, because I'll need it to learn Metal Claw to take on Brock. Alright, once again, switch train. I think I'll stick with Rattata right now. Unless its paralysis kicks in. Just another Weedle. Alright, Spearow is now at level 10, so I can switch back to Charmander. And let's see what we got here. A potion. That'll come in handy. Since I haven't been doing too much battling with Charmander, since I've been focusing on Spearow and the others, I'm gonna have to seriously do some grinding with Charmander. Hopefully. And Charmander is poisoned. Well, hopefully during the grinding session I'll be able to find a Pikachu. Yeah, Viridian Forest is definitely going to be the place for me to grind. Alright, and now we've made it to Pewter City. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. And remember, as always, to show your support for the channel by hitting that like button, commenting, and subscribing. And in the next video, we're going to be taking on Brock. And possibly Mount Moon as well, just so I can have some extra video length, because a battle with Brock would probably be too short a video to be called entertaining. But until then, peace out.